Chief guest, Dr. G.K. Goswami, Inspector General of Police, Uttar Pradesh, India. Guest of honor, Dr. Henry Lee, Founder and Director, Institute of Forensic Science, University of New Haven, USA. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Upinder Dhar, Dr. Kavita Sharma, Coordinator, Sri Vaishnav Institute of Forensic Science, Dr. M.P. Gautam, Senior Professor, Sri Vaishnav Institute of Forensic Science, invited guests around the globe, and dear students. I, Archana Pathak, on the behalf of Sri Vaishnav Institute of Forensic Science, delighted to offer a gracious welcome to all of you. Now, I would like to take a privilege to invite Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Upinder Dhar, to please welcome our chief guest, Dr. G.K. Goswami, Inspector General of Police, Uttar Pradesh, India. Okay, due to some reason, VC sir is not able to join. So I request Dr. Kavita Sharma, Coordinator, Sri Vaishnav Institute of Forensic Science, to please welcome our chief guest, Dr. G.K. Goswami, Inspector General of Police, Uttar Pradesh, India. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Kavita Sharma, Coordinator, Sri Vaishnav Institute of Forensic Science, to welcome our guest of honor, Dr. Henry Lee, Founder and Director, Institute of Forensic Science, University of New Haven.
Good morning, everybody. I have to say good morning, afternoon. It's my great pleasure to be here to be with you in such a difficult time. Today, I want to share with you about the new development in forensic science. So can you get my slide on, please? Okay. Today, my topic will be the advance of forensic science. According to the United Nations, worldwide, the violent crime has increased almost 200% in the last 10 years. A lot of criminologists and scientists, we study why the new trend of the crime today. Of course, the breakdown of the family value, the ethics standard, also use of internet, computer crime, all those are important factors. Today, we don't have time to address them. In addition, COVID-19 pandemic also increased a lot of global internet fraud crime. Many of us start changing our training lecture to online. I'm really happy Sharanavada University and Institute start this important international conference. I want to take this opportunity to thank the organizer and the conference member to invite me as one of the speakers. I've been in forensic science and criminal investigation over 64 years already. I spent a lot of time at the crime scene, a lot of time in the laboratory, a lot of time in the courtroom, a lot of time in the classroom. Recently, a lot of writing about me think I make impossible become possible. I was the first commissioner, non-Caucasian commissioner, police in the United States. I received about 30 honorary doctor degree, author, co-author, about 40 books, a couple hundreds of articles. In addition, I work a lot of other cases around the world. I even have a television show in the United States and in China. A lot of people refer me as king of the crime scene. I had the pleasure and privilege to work with 47 countries on 8,000 cases. It's not like television. Solving cases, it's a teamwork. We have to work together. No such thing a single person can solve the case. Not too long ago, USA Today lists 25 events changed the world history. They sent me a copy of that 25 event, 14 of those cases with forensic scientists directly, indirectly involved, such as 9/11, such as Kennedy assassination, O.J. Simpson, of course, Jean-Benet Ramsey, all those cases affect the criminal justice system around the world. In recent days, in the United States, have a lot of police shooting cause a conflict between the community and the police. I was asked to give a lot of lecture advice on police shooting investigation. The most important thing is public trust. Whatever investigation, public have to trust us. In my career, I investigate over 300 those shooting cases in California, New York, Taiwan, and Singapore and United States. Not a single one caused any problem. The reason is the investigation has to be objective, transparent, timely, and fairly. Early days when we investigate case, we basically use interrogation technique. In 1960, I joined the police department in Taiwan as a police captain. We rely on interrogation technique. Then by 70s, 80s, we use informant, we use witnesses, we use sting operation. And by late 80s, we start realize those techniques are not totally reliable and also inhumane. So we start look at the crime scene and forensic evidence. Today, of course, the forensic technique have advanced tremendously. We start look at artificial intelligence, big database, crime scene reconstruction, laboratory automation. However, doesn't matter what technique we use, we have to follow the same guideline and principle. Any crimes investigation is start the beginning at the scene, recognition. We have to recognize potential evidence, then we have to document, collect, preserve, send those evidence to the laboratory scientists then make identification, comparison, individualization. After we complete the report, sent to the court. Then attorneys, both prosecution, defense, and judge have to interpret and reconstruct and make a decision. In United States, of course, the jury also involved in this process. Documentation, crime scene analysis, therefore, is the first step and most important step. If those information not recognized, nothing much we can do. The case will become a cold case. In contrast, common belief, the information not only from physical evidence, it's also from the crime scene, also from the database, witnesses, and police investigation intelligence. We have to assemble all those information through a logic, analysis, and systematic study to reconstruct the case to find out the motive, means, and opportunities. The crime scene, the concept of crime scene also changed through recent years. It's no longer like the early days, a crime scene is a location or a body. Today, the crime scene can be your computer, can be your cell phone, can be internet, can be a whole ocean or a mountainside. Crime scene also can be a single hair or even a pollen particle. That's a microscopic scene. We saw those web information and crime scene are even bigger now. We can also including e-evidence into our study. Another change in forensic field, early days we collect the evidence, send to the laboratory to analyze. Today, we bring the laboratory to the crime scene. In real time, we can search, enhance the evidence, then we can send the database to do a preliminary comparison. Also, the crime scene equipment. We have a lot of portable equipment. We also have the 3D documentation. In the forensic field, early days when I entered the field, we call generalist, a person we know everything from autopsy to toxicology to serology, but today approach to specialization. Each of us have an area of specialty. There are 36 different special disciplines already. Another change in 1960, the laboratory usually is in low in the totem pole. A laboratory is ill-equipped, a lack of space, lack of scientists. But today in United States, all the laboratory have improved tremendously. We now have 419 laboratory, including federal, state, local laboratory, and a university laboratory. Laboratory, we start automation with big database. We start with a standard procedure and systematic branching to the lab, to the search of the database. Talking about a database, we now, besides DNA, fingerprint, also have firearm and drug, all those database. Right now, it's approaching to the biometric database to combine all the identification system together. DNA technology, of course, since the implement introduced to the forensic field by Alex in 1980s in United States. In late 89, we start adopt the DNA testing from our early days to RFLP, now STR. In addition, now not only the equipment improve, also a lot of advanced procedure developed. Big database, start using 23 loci, real-time DNA testing. So with human identification, it's much, much easier now. In addition to that, they introduced the familial DNA, also forensic DNA genealogy. Now you can look at a re-exam a lot of old cases, unsolved case, serial killer, serial rapist case. We saw the rape kit. Now you can have an additional advantage to solve those cases. Another important development is to use artificial intelligence to analyze the case, because in recent years, the digital proliferation with all those equipment around the world now, the complication of the crime start changing. So forensic scientists will also start look at the big data and computer analytic, try to work in the system to solve the case. We stuck here again. We also now all the law enforcement relied on CCTV camera and infrared documentation. With the new development, now we can monitor the facial recognition, car license recognition, so the mobility of the criminal is all under control. So future, we probably going to have a complete system automatically searching, matching, following, and this AI platform. Someday, if we have time, we can address that. And another potential future development is called robotic forensic scientists, robotic cops. Right this moment, already have robotic doctors, robotic lawyers. So I predict in the near future, law enforcement going to change. Not long ago, I attended a conference in Singapore in person. They also start working on a project, robotic investigation. A lot of remote control, bomb detection, or look at under buried body with a drone, use determine the point of a grave site. With the laboratory, now we have a more and more automated weapon and equipment. So future, all those database, in theory, can be a little microchip you can implement in the lens. So in other words, the forensic scientist can have all the references, all of the database, and by blink of eyes. By the same token, the police detectives can also have all those database in their lens when they interview the suspect, so they can quickly know the person, tell them the truth, or the false, or the history, or the crime they committed. Another potential feature is the brand net linkage. For example, right now, I'm United States. You are all in India or other participating around the world. Now we use a zone linkage, but future, in our brand, we can link with each other. I can learn what you're thinking. You can learn what we're thinking. This is an excellent tool for forensic scientists to discuss scientific issue and to helping each other solve the crime. But forensic scientists also face a lot of challenge. The public trust, also the courtroom system. We're in between of science and justice. The law is man-made. Science is a natural phenomenon. As a scientist, we have to deliver the scientific truth. However, many times the lawyer will not let us do that at the law setting. So this is a big challenge for us, and especially in United States. A lot of time they want a forensic scientist become a technician. You just follow the procedure without thinking. As a forensic scientist, the most valuable contribution for us is our brain. We can think, we can helping the victim, we can helping the innocent person. Uh, that's why the future global peace depends on international cooperation. The international cooperation is mutual trust with the justice system, the scientists, the public. We all work together. But that built on the foundation of the education and technology. I'm really happy to see your university take the lead in this conference in the world and to develop this important concept. And finally, I want to wish all the participants of this important conference have a healthy and happy career. For the younger people, I want to give them a few advice. To be a winner, you have to have knowledge in your mind. You have to have courage in your body. You have to have honesty in your heart. Most importantly, have a friend in your life. Uh, I want to thank you, be my friends, and make this world and the society better. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your vast experience with us in the field of criminal investigation. It's our privilege to listen from you. Now, moving forward, I would like to invite Dr. Swati Dubey Mishra, Coordinator, SVIFSIC 2020, to propose the report presentation of the conference. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, Archana Madam. Respected Chief Guest of this occasion, Dr. G.K. Goswami, Inspector General of Police, Uttar Pradesh. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Dr. Upendra Dhar, Guest of Honor, Dr. Henry Lee, Founder and Director, Institute of Forensic Science, University of New Haven, USA. Dr. Kavita Sharma, Coordinator of Sri Vaishnav Institute of Forensic Science and convener of this conference, Dr. M.P. Gautam, Professor Sri Vaishnav Institute of Forensic Science, SVIFSIC Indore, delegates, HODs, HOIs, academicians, researchers, and my dear students, good evening. Necessity is the mother of all inventions. There was one time when people's testimony was proof enough to put a man behind bars or execute him. But bad people lies. So there is a need for more reliable proof, and that's where science comes in. Forensic science is interdisciplinary domain which plays a crucial role in the criminal justice system. With the advances in forensic science, law enforcement has more tools and resources to solve crime and close the books on cold cases across the world. In view of this, the theme of today's international conference was Recent Advancement in Forensic Science. With enthusiastic response, there were 70 abstracts submitted by the participants in the various fields of forensic science. Total 102 participants had registered for the conference from India and abroad. First day of conference, In first day of conference on 20th November 2020, conference was started with inaugural session, and inaugural session began with virtual auspicious lamplight ceremony along with the prayer of Ma Saraswati. Dr. Kavita Sharma, convener of this conference, has explained some advances in the field of forensic science, and she has also given the overview of this conference and set the warm and refreshing tone of the conference. Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Upendra Dhar welcomed the guests and august gathering, and in his welcome address, he highlighted the aim of this conference and explained the advances in the field of portable police lab, vehicle system forensic, pollen biomarker, etc. And proven that there is no limit of knowledge. The abstract book was released by the dignitaries on this occasion. Guest of honor, Dr. Barry Fisher, retired director, Crime Laboratory, Los Angeles, explained the role of forensic scientists as witness of event, admissibility of new evidences, and also very beautifully highlighted the importance of lookout exchange principle. Chief guest of this occasion, Sri N. Ramchandran, President and founder, Indian Police Foundation, and former DGP, informed about the aims and objectives of Indian Police Foundation. He said that good forensics is good for policing, and good forensic is good for criminal justice system. He emphasized that police officer and forensic science must follow the law of analysis during forensic investigation. The inaugural session concluded with Mr. Anurag Srivastav by proposing words of thanks. The master of ceremony of this session was Ms. Nandini Katare, Assistant Professor, Sri Vaishnav Institute of Forensic Science, SVIFSIC Indore. The conference had 2 plenary and 3 technical sessions. Lectures of eminent speakers were delivered in plenary sessions, and papers and posters were presented by the participants in 3 technical sessions. In first day of conference, we have 1 plenary sessions and 2 technical sessions. In plenary session 1, 4 lectures were delivered by delegates. Dr. O.P. Murthy, Professor AIIMS, New Delhi, India, delivered his lecture on recent advancement in forensic science and forensic medicine. Dr. Busra Idris, Head DNA Unit, RAK Police, Dubai, UAE, spoke on DNA fingerprinting to forensic genetics. Sri Mohinder Singh, former government examiner of question document CFSL Hyderabad, India, has given lecture on recent advances in forensic science. Lisa Nicholas Drew, Associate Professor, Forensic Biology, UK, delivered his lecture on changes to forensic science education during the response of COVID-19 in 2020. This session was chaired by Dr. Rukmani Krismurthy, CEO, Helix Lab, India. And the rapporteur of this session was Ms. Nandini Bansod and Ayush Verma. In technical session 1, total 21 papers were presented by the participants in various fields of forensic science. Session was chaired by Dr. M.P. Gautam, Professor, Sri Vaishnav Institute of Forensic Science, SVIFSIC Indore, and co-chaired by Dr. Astha Pandey, Associate Professor, National Forensic Science University, Gujarat, India. The rapporteur of this session was Mr. Dinesh Kambale. In technical session 2, 21 posters were presented by the participant, and the judges of this session were Dr. Amit Chauhan, Assistant Professor, Amity University, Noida, India, Dr. Naresh Singh, Forensic Science Laboratory, Delhi, India. In poster presentation, Ms. Meghna Sharma, MSc first semester, has secured first position and second position have secured by 3 students. They are Jaya Kumawar, BSc fifth semester, SVIFS SVIFSIC Indore. Ayushi Pawar, BSc third semester, SVIFS SVIFS Indore. And Gauri Sharma, BSc third semester, SVIFS SVIFS Indore. The rapporteur of this session were Ms. Poonam Yadav and Ms. Hiramani Patidar. The second day of conference, 3 lectures were delivered by dignitaries in plenary session 2. Mr. Barry Fisher, retired director, Crime Laboratory, Los Angeles, USA, was spoke on strategic elements of sexual assault investigation. Dr. N.P. Wagmare, Director, State Forensic Science Laboratory, Goa, has delivered lecture on modern trend in investigation of forensic ballistics. Liron Pinkas, CEO, ITUS, Computer Solution Israel, was given lecture on cyber forensics. This session was chaired by Krishna Sastry, former cyber forensic scientist, Director of Forensic Science Services, India. And the rapporteur of this session were Mr. Ayush Verma and Ms. Nandini Bansal. In technical session 3, total 15 papers were presented by the participants. This session was chaired by Dr. Kavita Sharma, Professor and Coordinator, Sri Vaishnav Institute of Forensic Science, SVIFSIC Indore, and co-chaired by Dr. Raj Srivastav, Joint Director, State Forensic Science Laboratory, Sagar, Madhya Pradesh. The rapporteur of this session was Mr. Nirvan Ingole. In this valedictory session, we were enjoyed the session of guest of honor, Dr. Henry Lee, founder and director, Institute of Forensic Science, University of New Haven, USA. And we will listen to chief guest, Dr. G.K. Goswami, Inspector General of Police, Uttar Pradesh, India, in this valedictory session. The master of ceremony of this valedictory session is Ms. Archana Pathak, Assistant Professor, Sri Vaishnav Institute of Forensic Science at SVIFSIC Indore. Now, the conference came to an end with a note that journey of advancements in forensics is endless. So being a forensic personnel and responsible citizen, we should have to decide to set on this journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like to request from the participants to please provide a feedback about the conference. Any participants? You can share your feedback with us.
Ma'am, myself Bharti Jain from Punjab University, Chandigarh. I'm a research scholar. And I want to say that thank you so much for all your thoughtful and effective organization. And a special thanks to our great speaker who gave us very valuable and knowledgeable information. And I really enjoyed my time at the conference. And at last, I want to say that I found this conference really helpful. So thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, sir, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Nishant Singh from MIT University, Dubai. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to sharing my feedback with all of you. So firstly, I want to congratulate to all the distinguished speakers in this conference, especially from Professor Henry from USA, Mr. Barry Fisher from USA, Dr. Bushra Idris from UAE, Dr. Murthy from AIMS, India, Dr. Lisa from UK, and especially all young researchers for delivering such a wonderful presentation and sharing their views on the recent advancement in the field of forensic science, which exactly match with the the objective of our conferences are there. I can say that last 2 days were really very fruitful for all of us as we discuss about numerous new technology in forensics and which are basically a need of present time, because in the time the technology is moving so much faster and we need to be align ourselves being a forensic fraternity to map such all the technology like artificial intelligence, machine learning, microbiome forensic etc. At the end, I just want to congratulate the entire team of SVIFSIC, especially Dr. Kavita, for doing an amazing job in organizing such a international conference, especially in this pandemic where everyone is stuck in their home and their places are there. This is definitely, I can say, very great platform to share their thoughts, our thoughts with each other, and learn things are there. And that conference is always a very helpful platform for all of us, especially for the young researchers to showcase their research activities, and they get an opportunity to interact with the senior experts from the worldwide, and they can also develop future collaborations to build up a new research and technologies out there. At the end, once again, my heartiest congratulations to all of you, and hopefully coming time we'll meet face to face and present face to face. Thank you all and stay safe.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much sharing your views with us. Moving forward, a great scientist said the fragrance of flowers spread only in the direction of the wind, but the goodness of a person spreads in all directions. With this, I would like to introduce our chief guest, Dr. G.K. Goswami, Inspector General of Police, Uttar Pradesh, India. Dr. G.K. Goswami is MSc, LLB, PhD in Medicinal Chemistry and PhD in Law, DSc in Forensic Science and Law. He has recently joined as Chief of Anti-Terror Squad of State of Uttar Pradesh after serving more than 7 years on deputation to Government of India in various capacities such as Joint Director, Anti-Corruption HU Zone, Lucknow Zone of Central Bureau of Investigation, India. During this tenure, he was also posted as Director of CBI Academy, Ghaziabad. Earlier, on foreign deputation, he served as an expert on organized crime in the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime and had an opportunity to visit across globe to share experience and views on wide spectrum of issues related to policing and law enforcement. In the state of UP, he served as District Police Chief in various districts. Honorable President of India has honored him second bar by decorating 3 times with Police Medal for Gallantry, the highest national award for police. He is also proud recipient of the Police Medal for Meritorious Service conferred by the Honorable President of India. His Excellency, the Governor of Uttar Pradesh, has also conferred upon his Gold Medal for Gallantry. During his journey as a public servant, he earned several recommendations from the government of UP, senior ranks, and public at large. Recently, the National Forensic Science University, Gandhinagar, has awarded him prestigious postdoctoral degree on role of forensics in strengthening child right under the POSCO Act 2012, under the supervision of Dr. J.M. Vyas, Vice Chancellor. He became first Indian to have this prestigious academic distinction. Now, I would like to request Dr. G.K. Goswami, sir, to please address the gathering. Please, sir.
Good evening, everybody. And indeed, I congratulate the entire team of the university to organize such a diligent effort and very systematic syllabus covered in last 2 days. I am amazed that international experts like Dr. Henry Lee, I pay my regards to him and I listen him. I have learned lot many things earlier also about his findings, about his observation. He was a police officer, and I pay my regards to him for his acumen in investigation and forensics. Apart from that, I also congratulate Dr. Kavita ma'am for organizing and pursuing this seminar, webinar in this pandemic, which is a very, very onerous job, which she performed very meticulously, and it is the concluding day. Without taking much time, I will try to conclude my views in very few minutes, and I will show you a small presentation I think you can see this presentation there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you can see, just because time is limited, so I will rush through this entire spectrum of statics. You please don't get into it, but just see the two domain. One is this charge sheet, another conviction. This is the rape case in India since 2014 to 2019. One side, police feel that we have filed charge sheet in nearly 90 to 95% cases, but conviction is only limited to 30% case, meaning thereby that nearly 60% cases in India, they fail in the court because court feels that the quality of evidence is not sufficient. This is the problem. So we have to see how to bridge this gap. The quality of evidence is the prime objective to improve. And I think this same scenario exists in other jurisdiction as well. The similar scenario in case of POCSO also. Almost charge sheet in 90 plus cases, but conviction is only 30 plus cases. So nearly 60% again. The same, if we see human identification, I think for investigation, whether it is oral evidence or any other forensic inputs, human identification remains the focal point, whether it is identification of the actual accused or sometime because of the depleted body of the victim, or sometime you may get bone remnants or something like that. Then human identification for one region or other becomes very important, and these are various techniques used from ancient time till date to identify a human body or human as such as an accused on other side. So this is basically the major area of our investigation. The fulcrum is the human identification. But just see, Albert Einstein very correctly mentioned at one point of time that it has become appalling obvious that our technology has exceeded our humanity. So this is a very positive as well as a caution that although science and technology has a lot of advance, but we have to use it with limited, means with a great caution. And this is important for the purpose of forensic science also, because on one hand, we have a lot of advantage, but things like forensic fraud and others are the ultimatum to see that we should not use these advances just closing our eyes. So we have to be very cautious when we use any scientific input in courtrooms. Now let me just enter into criminalistics or forensic science, what it is. Forensic science is not a pure science like physics or chemistry. It is a blend science. It has admixture of various disciplines, whether it is social science, arts, chemistry, physics, biology, and so many other things. But the purpose of forensic science is to bring investigation a scientific look, a scientific perspective. It enhances the probability of evidence, and the entire purpose of this exercise is basically to march towards perfect justice. It is said that in every judgment of the court, the judgment is there, but it is not necessary that justice has been done. So the entire exercise we are doing here in the last 2-3 days is basically how to improve the quality of justice in the courtroom. Now, these are some, advancement, how forensic science developed, and probably very early stage, Julius Caesar was killed and stabbing was reported, 23 stabbings injury were reported, and it was told that chest injury was fatal. So these are some milestones how forensic science developed over the period of time. And these are some other in 18th century, in 19th century. So these are some yardsticks and some advancement at different stages. This is one important aspect, the jurisprudence. My dear friends, many of you might be aware, juris means law and prudence means knowledge. So forensic science, as I said, that it is a blend science and it is admixture of different discipline with law. So law is the fulcrum. again, science and law are equally, amalgam in this new discipline. But unfortunately, most of the forensic scientists, they feel that they have no business with the law. My dear friends, I think you must have some basic understanding of law, because ultimate test of your findings, of your observation, of your expert report is basically if it passed through the test in courtroom. So you have to be very cautious that how your findings get transferred or get transformed into the shape of evidence. So that transformation is important, and I think there some understanding of law is important even for the forensic expert. In Indian context, Article 20 is very, very important because time is not permitting, but these different case laws. Another point I want to make here, the budding forensic experts might be here, that I think it is very important in which field you are working. Maybe in DNA, maybe in fingerprint, maybe in ballistics, and so on and so forth. You please have the habit of reading few judgments which are of significance. Say, for example, if you want voice sample, you just write voice sample on Google. Sorry, there, and just write one another word, Indian Qanun. Indian Qanun is a search engine which pop up various judgments free of cost. You can download. The reason why I'm telling this, that by reading those judgments, you will understand what are various dynamics of law pertaining to your area of interest in forensic science, where you have submit your expert opinion, and how judges have interpreted, how defense has cut your evidence short or have tried to nullify the report. So you will learn how to improve the quality of evidence which can withstand in the test of the courtroom. So these are very different, perspective. These are judgments like Kathi Kallu Ogar, very relevant for fingerprinting. Nandini Satpathy says that on one side in Article 19, we have right to speak or freedom of speech. But Article 20 Part 3 says that you have right to silence. Right to silence means that if any incriminating question is being asked, then you have, as a matter of right, you can keep silence. So this is a right. Another important aspect for forensic expert to learn about Salvi versus State of Karnataka. This is, I think, the most important judgment as far as deception detection techniques are concerned. Ritesh Sinha's very recent judgment about voice spectroscopy, because time is limited, so I cannot explain much. Article, these are some qualifying tests, probably Fry test, then Dover test and other things. Probably a lot of discussions would have been made in last 2-3 days, but I think every forensic expert must understand what are the dynamics of Fry test as well as this Dover test. The important point here is the reliability and validity, that if anybody comes to you or claim that I am a scientist, I have devised this technique, please use it in the courtroom. So these are the two variants based on which you decide whether this input of forensic science or any science for that matter may be used for court purpose as evidence. So reliability and validity are the two important aspects to understand. Although these things I understand must be detailed and discussed, but as you know that I have very short time to deliver the talk. So I thought just to give some idea, but explanation I will do sometime later in some later phase. These are certain sections actually in Indian Evidence Act, CRPC. The basic difference between Indian Evidence Act and CRPC is Evidence Act is applicable for civil and criminal both, but CRPC is applicable only for criminal matters. So these are different sections actually. This is low-code principle, probably as I mentioned, as you mentioned in your detailed report, what have been done in last 2 days. So low-code principle was taught to you. These are some, probable scientific evidence in different cases. This is a indicative list, not the exhaustive one, but these are different type of, like medical legal. As I mentioned that probably this is the first report which was accepted as medical report, medical injury report. Then bite marks, documents, fingerprint, and list is very long, maybe 18, 20 different disciplines are there in forensic science. Chain of custody, probably I hope some inputs must have given, but as forensic expert, you must understand the dynamics of chain of custody. And not only as forensic expert, in fact, right from the place where the forensic sample were collected, the chain of custody is basically maintaining the integrity of the sample. Otherwise, there are a lot of chance of manipulation and some fraud to be conducted. So chain of custody is a mechanism by which the integrity of the sample can be maintained. This is a subject which every policeman who is dealing the evidence, every other actor of criminal justice system, including forensic scientists, must have the detailed understanding of this concept or this doctrine. These are some areas of the same subject. Then these are certain precautions. At the last, without taking much time, this Khurshid case, as I mentioned about the forensic fraud, I just give you some, live example of 2018 itself, about 2 years back. Interestingly, in Delhi High Court, one case was, the Honorable Court was conducting the hearing of an appeal of rape case under POCSO. POCSO means child sexual abuse case. All evidence were cryingly saying that the person is actually accused, but DNA report was exonerating him. That means it was not matching. Prior to this case, in 3 more cases, the same thing happened with the minor children. The rape were conducted. The evidence in series were proving the guilt, but DNA was clean. It was not matching with the accused. The court, Honorable High Court of Delhi, got some doubt. They sent the sample to another expert for DNA analysis, and to the horror or to the surprise, the report were matching. That means there was some fraud was conducted at the level of forensic expert. The Honorable Court directed Central Bureau of Investigation to conduct the detailed investigation into the matter. Just see how pathetic it is. And this type of forensic frauds are not new. These are, I think, global phenomena, whether it is US, in many other countries. And you see, I am fortunate to have this opportunity to go to US to learn about Innocence Project. And I think Mr. Henry will support my standpoint that the advanced country like US, like, despite the best practices in place to collect evidence and even for better, system, criminal justice system there, more than 150, 160, many years, last time 163 cases were identified who were actually innocent, but they were finally convicted, and more than 20 were on death row. So you just understand how pathetic condition must be in India. So I got Fulbright fellowship. I will go next year to learn the fine nuances of Innocence Project, and we will try to emulate in India with some modification, with new law maybe formulated and something. I want to sensitize you people that forensic science is not the last word. As I generally say, that forensic science is a very, very important tool, but it is not infallible. There are so many, catch point. The point here, what I want to make is that we should have best use of forensic science, but with open eye and ear. We should try to improve our capabilities, and we should not have the blind faith on anything until unless we have seen the report properly, the meticulous exercise, accreditation, and so many other things must be done of the laboratory, then only forensic science would be a boon to our criminal justice system in delivering justice. These are some way forward, but as you know, that time is very short. So with this, I conclude my words and my thoughts, and these are my contact details. Those who have any questions, or you can even Google my name on and on ResearchGate. My lot of publications and research you may find on DNA and many other aspects. And certainly, I will also put my DSc degree, DSc dissertation on website. You can see about POXO, and I have actually analyzed more than 4,400 judgments of High Court and Supreme Court related to child sexual abuse ever since POXO Act came into being since 2012. So, meaning thereby, I am a very staunch supporter of forensic science, but I always say that we have to be very cautious and we should improve our quality and capability. As Mr. Henry also said, that the science and law can bring justice to society and individual, provided we are cautious, citizens, and it will help good governance as our government is aspiring for. With this, I stop. I thank you once again for inviting me for this purpose. Thanks a lot for the organizers. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing with us the true scenario of criminal cases in India and judicial status regarding the same. Thank you so much. Now, gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul. Every event is an experience. The external fades away and the internal lingers and echoes in the most depth of our heart. With this thought, I would like to invite Dr. Kavita Sharma, Coordinator, Sri Vaishnav Institute of Forensic Science, to please propose the words of thanks. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, Archana. Respected Chief Guest, Dr. J.K. Goswami, Chief of Anti-Terror Squad, UP, India, Dr. Upinder Dhar, Vice Chancellor of Sri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya, although due to some other important assignments, I was not able to join this valedictory session. Dr. Henry Lee, Emeritus Chair, Professor, University of New Haven, Director, Henry Lee Institute of Forensic Science. Dr. M.P. Gautam, Professor, Sri Vaishnav Institute of Forensic Science, Indore. Co-coordinator, Anurag Srivastav, Dr. Swati Dubey Mishra, Coordinator, SVIFSIC-2020, HODs, HOIs, faculty members of all other constituent institutes of Sri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya, Indore, and delegates from different institutes, universities, medical colleges, forensic science laboratories, etc. I express my deepest regards to all of you for your gracious presence. It is my great privilege to express my gratitude and respect to all on this occasion. First and foremost, I wish to express my utmost gratitude to our guests, Dr. G.K. Goswami and Dr. Henry Lee, for their gracious presence in this conference. Your presence and gentle words are a source of encouragement for all of us. Thank you so much, sir. We have been fortunate enough to get the genuine cooperation and inspiration from Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Upinder Dhar, who guided us at all these steps for this event. Sir, your guidance and blessings made this conference possible during this critical COVID-19 period. Forensic science is the multidisciplinary field that encompasses various subjects like chemistry, biology, physics, psychology, and engineering for application of scientific knowledge and methodology in areas such as criminal investigation and legal issues. I would like to express a deepest thanks to all the speakers, session chairs who accepted our invitation and spared some time from their busy schedule to share their knowledge and experiences with us. An event like this, with such a huge number of participants from Maharashtra, Haryana, Karnataka, New Delhi, UP, MP, Gujarat, Chhattisgarh, Assam, Chandigarh, and UAE, cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling weeks ago. It requires planning and bird eye details. I am thankful to Dr. MP Gautam for his active help and support whenever needed. The success of the conference depends on the efforts of many people. I would like to thank all the reviewers for their keen interest during reviewing the paper and giving valuable feedback to the author. I also extend my thanks to the technical committee for their cooperation in the organization of the event. Along with this, I also thank to Dr. Anand Rajawat, Director SVIIT, Dr. Jigyasu Dubey, Head SVIIT, and this team, Mr. Shadab Sheikh, Mr. Shrikant Telang, and Mr. Manoj Malviya for providing flawless connectivity during the sessions. At last, but not the least, I am extending my heartfelt appreciation to all my beloved SPIFS team. Without their support, it would not be possible. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks to all.
I also thank you everyone, all the dignitaries who has joined with us. Thank you.
Now, Archana, now I would like to thank Professor
Yes,
Henry.
sir, please.
Henry, sir.
How are you doing? Good to see you.
I'm associated since last so many years with your publications.
Right.
And as far as the your book, Criminalistics and Forensic Science, whenever I discussed about it with our students, they generally ask a very simple question. Sure. How you have differentiated forensic science with the criminalistics? I referred. You please listen to me first. Huh? I referred them the name of Professor P.L. Kirk.
Yes.
The founder of the criminalistic in your United States. Because I started my learning of forensic science from that book. Then I consulted Richard Saperstein, etc., Siegel. These are the publications, and when your publication came, so I was a little bit curious to know how nicely you have divided forensic science with the criminalistics. So you please say a few words about this.
Well, you know, forensic scientists will entitle different opinion, but the principle of science is the same. Just like just now Chief Inspector talking about, forensic science is unique under the law, umbrella of law. Scientists, we are not running the court. We just present the evidence. Doesn't matter inculpatory or exculpatory. We have to be fair. So it's a difficult job. I'm really honored to meet you a long time ago and see you are healthy. I'm also very healthy. I'm 82. Today is my birthday, 82 years old. And I'm still writing, I'm still teaching, I'm still working hard on cold cases. I'm not involved in current case. We become a national cold case center, unsolvable case. Just now mentioning about Innocent Project. It's a good project, but not everybody innocent. Unfortunately, because some unknown DNA with the advance of DNA, we can touch anything, leave some DNA. You cannot say because have foreign DNA, therefore this person is innocent. The logic doesn't work this way. So we need a lot of additional research, additional understanding. But I'm too old now. It's on your younger people's hand. Uh, I really thank the organizer. Thank you. Thank everybody's comment. Wonderful.
Dr. Lee, actually, I want to appreciate one thing, that how nicely you have correlated the mutual trust with the forensic scientist, which is a need.
Yes,
And
you are correct.
the thing, the lie is man-made. Okay, you mentioned
Learning.
this thing. Right?
Yes,
The lie is man-made,
man.
and the science is the natural phenomena. How nicely you have presented. I'm really appreciating like anything. So I was during the lecture, I was tried to comment, but I could not get chance to say something. That's why in the end I have requested the person concerned to give me chance to talk about you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Come to US to visit us.
Okay.
Next time when I go to India, I'd like to visit all of you.
No, it will be a pleasure. It will be a pleasure, and I will directly talk to the vice chancellor and chancellor also.
Thank you.
Especially your visit will be very fruitful to you, because you are not only a scientist, you are not only a forensic scientist, but you are a good teacher also.
Thank you very much.
I have gone through the every chapter of your book, so I know how small things which are needed for the crime scene investigation, especially crime scene investigation, how nicely you have put it the things accordingly, and even explained the stronger term. The term which are some little bit difficult to a student, you have explained in the next sentence. So thank you very much for your contribution.
Thank you.
Namaskar.
Thank you, Henry sir. Thank you, Goswami sir. Namaskar.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right.